That God, He is a holy God. He is the only Lord God. There is no other God that is besides Him. Now, if we open our life, the breath of our nostrils, if we partake to godliness, holiness, righteousness, lawfulness, the kindness, the long suffering, the peace, the grace, the love, the truth, the light, the salvation, the hope, the faith, the justice, the perfect, the patience, the straight and narrow way that leads to life, the everlasting blessings, of the kingdom of the Most High and the Holy One of Israel, the God, the Almighty and powerful living God, the King of salvation, who sitteth upon the throne of Israel. If we are inside of here in Trinidad and Tobago, this is the 14th, the day on which we have to be liberating, emancipating ourselves to independence, to colonize our nation in the local way of voting for a party to go members of the Commonwealth of Nations. You know, in remembrance of Queen Elizabeth II, Queen Elizabeth I, and now today King Charles III. It is Graham Williams coming across from Trinidad and Tobago. I'm here to sort out a problem, a growth, of ethical skills, a pertained knowledge, a required blessings from God. But not to be unwise about knowledge. I fall fools and be fooled. But no God stand right there in the Google TT 7 years ago. 2014. Parliament going on. The Google TT came down. Fundamentally. Well, we got some online jobs to do. For Trinidad and Tobago, monetizations to go through. We got the Forex, we got Farmbox. You name it. But just in my other video, something touched my mind. You know? Yes. Something touched my mind. What was it that actually touched my mind? What was it that has touched my mind? Is that whilst going broadcast YouTube, I follow citizens. Whilst go broadcast YouTube, I realized something. That I only watch in America citizens, UK citizens, Canada. I say let me go and see what Trinidad and Tobago doing, yeah God. But on June 5th, the YouTube partnership dropped. You know, the requirements that is needed to actually join the YPP. For those who doesn't know, it is the YouTube Partnership Program. But it only have about 5 countries, in namely that I can remember. Canada, America, England, I think was India, or Russia, or something. But for 2 that I know, America, Canada, and England, UK. But if your country isn't listed, there's the guidelines to follow that what the vidIQ nation community is saying. To do not take your address, your country, and change the location to somewhere that you are not. You know? So I feel like I have actually been bombarded by my Trinidad allies. Now, my Trinidad allies are friends. They are close friends, they are partly friends, they are relatives. You know? In every way that we are. But I wasn't too clear. I wasn't too sure what the vidIQ nation saying. What was they saying? My Trinidad friends wasn't listening. That the monetization doesn't apply to you in the nation, who do not be listed on the list. That means Trinidad and Tobago, where I am, that my YouTube channel is not allowed the monetization. I must be of the United States, Canada, or the United Kingdom of Great Britain, Ireland, Scotland, England, and London. But in the such a the sense that today is, today, that I just sit on here filming a 6 minute and say, let me try to put together how fast I can put together a 6 minutes video. And realize something is 5 minutes and I have about 15 minutes to go, seconds to go before 6 minutes. So I decided to say something like what it is the partnership had to do with Trinidad and Tobago, that the YouTube Trinidad and Tobago doing, they aren't really giving a clear stone. They're not being stewards. They're not being securely for the young children, like 18 and 16 years, who coming up through life, to know that they have something more than mixing mortar and concrete. They have something better. To stay home, study, and they still have a little time to be ready to do some work. So I find it a bit weird, and I try to study something. I was like, so what are we going to do here, my guys? What are we going to do here? Are we going to like be hardened and the others suffer for it? In this country where I'm from, when I go carnival out in the streets, the fight starts the bicker as the darkness starts to come in. So 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, the darkness start to come in, fights start to go on, bottles start to pelt all over the place, and then the police comes and it shuts it down. Carnival done. Monday and Tuesday night, carnival finish early. But if you behave yourself as a people, as a nation, as a country, as a community, and not entertain the domestic violence in this kind of way of a character that is unrealistic or unlisted as a law, you be shooed away. Meaning you have to go home to your resident and be involved in life inside of that than being in the public life. In other words, if we as Trinidadians and Tobagonians, meaning the million and the population of us, that the Google TT that signed us the monetization with online jobs, that we can be home and that we can be working. I mean, if you listen closely to the background, that is children playing. I am actually home listening to that. And I know how hard it is to be home and have nothing to do. But you have a chance to do something, because I used to work Google online with TT, and I used to do something real nice with that. And I telling you, when I do it and I finish it and I do whatsoever it is I do with that, I joined the YouTube, and I decided to look at my Trinidad friends and to find out why it is they want to do the monetization. And I decided to tackle it, mentally. And once I tackling it, I find out like it didn't have no purpose. It didn't have no purpose. It didn't have no place that they actually focus. Like, why would they not listen to Rob Wilson? Why did they not listen to him? So I say, well, it had a little more knowledge that I needed to provide from my mind to escape the rat race. To escape the rat race is not monetizing. I escape. But on the other hand, is that to escape the rat race is gain monetize on everybody else who would monetize in Trinidad and Tobago. I escape. I'll be 1%. I'll be smart. I'll be wise. I'll be brilliant. But with the kingdom of God, with the vision, with the light, with the truth, with the salvation, with the way that children are supposed to be walking in the laws of the Lord God. Tell me how that I can't see where I going if I turn on monetization as Trinidad and Tobago stands and tells me to turn it on. Just switch across my account to a different country. But vidIQ telling me to don't switch it. You know, for anybody who doesn't know, vidIQ is somebody who stands on the platform. Right? So when them stands like literally on the platform of YouTube, I know like where the others stand. They're not standing on the platform. You know, there is somebody to stand with you on the platform for like you. So I find that it's right that I keep the policy that they have. You know, and see how prospering the prosperity is. So for Trinidad and Tobago, don't do these things. You know, don't involve my life. Don't involve our lives, our young country, our young children's lives. Where we lives is that the Google itself, they actually gave us something to find jobs on there. You know, they've been here for only 5 years. You just had to be patient. Be patient and wait for them to drop the YouTube monetization to give us a partnership with them. Other than that, you be breaking the policies or the laws, they'd know. But they'd be merciful enough to let you pass. But the rest of us who not pass, how clear the way is from there for us. That you all pass and made it over into monetizing your channel. How clear the way is for us to grow. Now, it ain't there. It's like listening to YouTube that ain't YouTube. You know? But YouTube find out that we break a policy and others breaking the policy, they may never drop it. Think about how clear the obedience level is in the United Kingdom, in the United States, in Canada. But look at Trinidad. Trinidad is my country. It mightn't have plenty guys that are doing this, but Trinidad is my country that I want to actually know if they're out their mind. This is the currency of US dollars that they have a chance to escape from. The rat race, the real one. You know? Look how clear it is. And the first day I signed up with my channel Fanbox, just like Forex is, I got 1,000 US dollars cash. The day I signed up. I signed up 15 minutes and it's USD already. Now I must be paid in 3 months. Monetize, mature my account, and get paid every 3 months. But the thing is, them paying $1,000 every week. Now, on YouTube, my Trinidad and Tobago friends, that you have monetized your platform, you get a check every month, every 2 months, every 3 months, and through the year. Listen to something like what it is that I say. If I get a platform on Google and I monetize it for $1,000, and then I come across to 5 years. Listen to me carefully. 5 years, and then they sent across every week a payments that I need, that I work, that I stand with, Google TT job, the Fanbox, and now is the 240,000 US dollars. How it is as a YouTuber who listened to something that the others saying in the realms, in the countries that have not the monetization turned on in their countries. How do you feel about something like that? Because I am not YouTube. you know, I am I am something like Forex. I am Fanbox. But in the sense that YouTube is not turned on, I say in this to those who have it turned on. That over a 5 year period, with having the monetization turned on Fanbox, which is my platform, not YouTube, I count $1,000 a week for 5 years and end up with almost 300,000 US dollars. I was 25 years. Today, I am 34 years. When I got that email, that was 30. I was 30 years old. In 2019, I signed in 2015. But what I want to show the Trinidad and Tobago guys is how much YouTube issued to the guys, the much that I have. YouTube just give you a couple of cents for 1,000 videos. But you don't know that. That's what they say. But you have to believe in what YouTube holds as its solid and value. But you now have a monetization that is still done in your niche. Meaning Google, Trinidad and Tobago. Curry Marcus Williams of Trinidad and Tobago. That monetization is still done on my niche. And I take that out. It was 300,000 US dollars. 240,000. You know? But that's 5 years time. You know? I stayed in the comfort of my home and worked and stay optimizing my channel, stay building my platform. I stayed doing the things that I was finding it was fun. It was nice. It was great. But look how I end up into something called I end up into something called a decision. You know? The decision that I had to make, you know, with being educated about the system, being educated about the knowledge, being educated about, you know, the YouTube itself. But how come they can't see God? How come they can't see 5 years strong? How come they can't do in the way that I doing? Look at Whisper Eyes. When you want to become successful, you can't make others know you become successful. Otherwise, you'll be shocked of your success. If you listen to what Google TT is properly, you would see something happening to Trinidad and Tobago where I stand. Because I was somebody who stand to do 1 million subscribers for Trinidad and Tobago to see if my country will royalty my pardon. But today, if I stand in Trinidad and Tobago in Google TT and I do something that is called breaking a World Guinness record, then not only my country, but the Guinness World Record is going to hold my record in. But I don't think I've broken anything. You know, everything looks good. I don't think I've gotten gold. You know what is gold? Gold is like which part I am or which part YouTube is. YouTube will be giving you a gold plaque if you get 1 million subscribers. Right? But which part I is, we don't know much about them awards. you know. But we want to know something like how does the negative affect the positive output of life? If the positive output of life is which by I stand, how does the negative output of life become successful? I want to know something. If you're doing YouTube, you will expect to go viral. When I mean viral, be viral, like make a million into 5 million US dollars. You will expect to go that viral. Now, why it doesn't go viral? Why somebody who doing what he rules is actually find how to go viral? Why them channel will go viral? It's like how it's like how working it's like how working it's like how working the negative that the positives doesn't put out the output in life. I mean, think about it. There is two things. There is two things in life. There is a negative and a positive. But the positive descend to the heavenly kingdom of God's will. The negative descend to the fires and the burning places of hell. You know, sometimes we want to know how can someone win the race or come first in tests. But we ourselves who be negative, we will try to make sure that you doesn't win the race. You know? But in a sense, in a sense, I have an option in my mind. My option is to determine whether or not that someone is doing the positive and not the negative. So I trying to draw the positive to push away the negative, meaning for good to come that will overcome the evil. Right? Now follow something. That this day that I filming this is the same local election that is going on. And I have 3 children here. Right? Now I'm not just bragging out this, but if you take $300,000 US dollars and you convert it into Trinidad and Tobago dollars, you tell me how much is that? I guess something like $18 million. No, that's not millions or 3 million. That is like $300,000. That's like $1.8 million. How much how much is that in your span of life? That who it is has a law or a rule that they stand by. That they tell you they're going to give you $5,000 to work the cruise ship for 12 months. How much money you will get? You will get about $60,000. Right? But if you working for $1,000 every week, how much you will get by the end of the year? Almost the same thing. Right? Right. So if you do something like $60,000 for about 5 years, how much you end up with? 60, 120, 240, 300. You end up with $300,000 in 5 years. Now you see how it have a niche at Forex, the cruise ship, and the fan box that I was doing. Now these guys that be included in that niche, why would they be selected to do a YouTube channel if YouTube drops for Trinidad and Tobago that they found them being faithful, that they want to dwell with them? Hmm? You know why? That is like so yes, it's competent. It's competent because they know who they are. They can find who they is. They have the true alias. They have the true person, the true identification. They have their true verification. They have their true standing out point in life. They can actually stand solemn and call them to dignify, clarify, to verify that this is their person, this is their identity. You know, that they're resident of Trinidad and Tobago. But the guys that down here, the guys that stand, that switch across the account with vidIQ, I realize that they have a problem with YouTube and Google and Trinidad and Tobago for broken valid promises or policies. But what happens when YouTube or Google TT decides, well, everybody who went in Trinidad and Tobago and do monetization, we taking off YouTube from coming down. That is supposed to come down for this 7 years coming up, this parliament in Trinidad and Tobago in 2023. And because they did that, we taking off the Google TT, which means it have no online jobs. Now you see how Peter does pay for Paul and Paul does pay for all. So in here, I will have to pay for it. And over 5 years, 2015 to 2023, more than 5 years, I have not cleared or declared a sum of money from that online job as yet, Google TT. But what's something? What's something? In life sports, you're supposed to graduate and collect a life skills certificate. But they squandered money around so much that all who went live sports, we ain't doing no graduation. And what happened? Peter paid for Paul and Paul paid for all. So who was doing it? Inside of the mix of it, it might be a cousin, it might be a brethren, it might be a friend. Doing inside of the same life sport that they're squandering around, that they stifle, the choke and end up under and become a rat. They ain't have nothing to get out of it. But what's something? That on this Google TT platform, that I stand with Forex, cruise ships, and armed fan box. Right? YouTube isn't this platform to monetize. But watch how my platform is. Watch how my platform train up my child. That when I reach old in life, I will not forget the way. The way is which part had the light and the salvation and the paradise, the presence of the living God. That is which part you can see, you can grow, you can prosper, you could laugh, you could smile, you could have joy. You could even be how I be, long suffering. But why I want to declare this talisman is because if now, watch me, that if now you have my audience, that you have something like YouTube, Google TT, YouTube monetization going on, then, and you get a Google AdSense account that pays you deep down inside of your life, something like, they give you something like a check, let me say for about $50,000 every month your video is making. And you collect a check every month. And you spend your money on royalties, you spend your money, you save your money, or you do whatever that you did with your money. But you meet somebody who doing Forex, Google TT, monetized. And you stand up next to them and you studying like, who's them, man? I don't need to know them. I need to follow my own art senior, you know? But I watching how I's Google TT monetized and somebody is Google TT YouTube monetized. But my policy monetized in the ministry, but this policy what them have it not monetized. But I watching to see if anybody know what I was learning in church about. It had two mice and they're living in a city and they eat out all the cheese. And some places that they go to the next city that they're not getting a chance to find the cheese in time, so it mold. And they have to move to the next city. Right? So I feeling like who will have a monetize going on that they're not supposed to have going on, like YouTube in Trinidad and Tobago. And they will declare money. Right? Money, right? But you as an individual have a monetize going on, right? But you not declaring no money that you supposed to have going on. So I just want to show the nations that how difficult it is to hear something like this. I mean, what is the pardon? What is the pardon here? You know, Sunday, a pastor or a minister or a member from a church called. He said, "But Karim, I come to give you a message." It was James, Saint James, I think, and he was telling me how when if I ever be blamed for something I didn't do. That was Sunday morning. I think that same Sunday morning I came back and kneeled down and I prayed to God. It's Monday morning or afternoon. And that same thing is what going through my mind. That what it is that I would be blamed for if something that I didn't do. You know? The Bible tells you to be blameless. You know? So I sit down here this morning, this afternoon, and I studying. All our years pass. 10 years pass me, and me ain't touch $1 in it. Not at 25 cents in it. Me ain't touch no money. And the money that I take to put on side at that account is money like 50 TT dollars. No, US dollars. That I had to pay over a period of 5 years. And I never pay it. And I leave that to grow and grow and grow and grow. And that money grew into something like $7,000 to $8,000. If that money was on today, that'd be something like $14,000 to $20,000 or even more US dollars that I had to pay. And I'm telling you, I never pay no money. One payment I pay, and the money raise up. No payment I take, the money come down into my account. None whatsoever. You know why? Because on my platform, it didn't have no problem with being monetized in Trinidad and Tobago. Understand? But if I inside of Trinidad with 10 years, and somebody inside of Trinidad and Tobago, Google TT, 10 years, and drawing a check every month, all around, every month, for 10 years, over 10 years, 5 years, and the channel or the YouTube ain't monetized being in Trinidad and Tobago, and others following their steps and going through and drawing checks and drawing checks and drawing checks. I watching to see what will happen if I draw a check. Because what I notice is in the payment issue is how the monetizing that makes it ties up. So I studying if I fall in the wrong people. That's why I studying. I studying if I fall in the wrong people in life. Because the Bible tell me to don't follow people who don't believe in something that the truth is. Don't follow people who don't believe. So I studying why I can't find how to draw my check out from my platform, Fanbox, and to be with those who doing things like Forex, and to be with those who doing things like cruise ships. Understand? So I really watching it now, and I studying. Now who really making the money here? Who really living here? Who really getting to live? The one who doing the wrong thing getting to live, or the one who doing the right thing getting to live? But they always tell you, what go wrong, you just come around. And when you have gang relations, it is be hard to come out in the end when you want to come out. But if I's 25 to 30 years and I go down 35 years, and me ain't have no gang relations going on, but I find myself stumbling, or I find myself being a bit, eye and eye and tooth, you know, to see what it is really going on. And I studied, well, the way how life is, how I used to be before I actually turned around my life and gave it to God. I studied like, how can somebody will stay so long with something like 10 years and prosper in it, but somebody will stay 10 years into it and not prosper in it? If I didn't know myself when I was in 2004, I would deny who doesn't prosper. I would give them the crown of life. I would give them an open place in my heart to go and reign in it. I would give to them hopes. I would give to them dreams. I would give to them the valuable things, the essence in life. I would give to them joy. I would give to them the paradise. I will make them see over the mountains. I will make them live villas, drive Bentleys. I will make them live in the way that I want to live, that they will live. So I study who it is that I really is. If somebody can pass, if Trinidad and Tobagonians can pass and do monetization YouTube in Trinidad and Tobago and spend money, and I will sit down on the monetized Trinidad and Tobago platform with Forex, Fanbox, and the cruise ships, meaning USD currency, and spend no money, I study what the long run will be. Because when I reach 10 years, me don't have that kind of money. You hear what I'm saying? Hear what I'm saying good? That when 2015 come on a drop, and YouTubers come out, and they pull out a check what they're not supposed to pull out, and they spend from 2015 to 2023. All that time means spending no money. What really deserve for me to spend, somebody else go and spend it. I understand? So why is they going and they proceeding and they moving forward doing that? I telling myself, then who it is the YouTubers who turn on the monetization really want to be? It's like they doesn't have a goal. They doesn't have an aim. It's like they go serve the devil in the table of hell and try now to come the table of the Lord. So I say the table of the Lord and the table of the devil is two different tables. But the tell of the tables this turn. So I studying if the devil have a chance in life. You understand? That's why I watching. Because I was like, Trinidad and Tobago government ain't saving the table of hell, the table of the devil. They're not so. So I said, then what table they really serving? If the table up in heaven, and they give to me something like the job that I have, the eyes. Watch my room. This is the state. This is the state of my room. This morning, Monday morning from Sunday, I my clothes on the ground. This is the state of my room. And I